Welcome to White Rabbit Podcast with Katillist Jones, where your reality might be challenged. So leave your feelings at the fucking door and let's dive down some rabbit holes.
Liberal advisory. Truthful content.
There are children being ritualistically sodomized by deep state operatives of reptilian descent.
Reptilian? You mean like lizard people?
That's right.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
If you want to stop me, you're gonna have to fucking kill me!
From Katillist Jones. How are you, brother?
Dude, you must have been down the rabbit hole as long as I have.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this.
Eventually, you get to the juice box people.
It's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file.
We choose to go to the moon. That was a joke about the world being flat, right? Wasn't it?
Excuse me. Has anybody seen a white rabbit?
And welcome, fellow truthers and conspiracy junkies, to another episode of White Rabbit. I am your host, swapcasting this with my boy Derek Stitt from Talking Stitt, and I'm super excited. He asked me to come on and talk some shit about the Kardashians, and I was like, bro, I love talking shit, especially about the Kardashians, so let's fucking do this. Brother, this is our first time ever doing anything together. I saw you on my boys Jonathan and Jacob's show the other day. That was pretty awesome to see you up over there. So for my people on this side listening that don't know who you are, why don't you give us a little bit of background about what you got going on over there?
Well, what I got going on, I got to do the every episode always starts off with a beer crack on my end, but basically I'm just like a shit talking musician, father of three, husband, meme lord, kind of retard in this sphere of conspiracies and everything that we all dive into. But there's so many people that put it into like really, really bullet point items and like, you know, almost like audiobook style, which I love those kind of shows. Me, I just like to get stoned, crack a beer, and then just talk shit about the world and politics or musicians or fellow entertainers, whoever, you know. So basically Talking Stitt is my podcast, and we get into anything from flat earth to, like I said, music, conspiracies, the government, you know, hidden history.
Hell yeah, dude. That's my kind of people, bro. And I'm also come from a musical background as well. So I just had on somebody that's pretty big in the music game. I just had Jessica Sutta on from the Pussycat Dolls. She was vaccine injured and is speaking out about it. And she was really big behind the MAGA movement and rubbing elbows with RFK and everything. So I actually had the pleasure of talking to her after it seems like the entire Trump administration has been like a haha, gotcha, motherfuckers.
Dude, we've had a big gotcha. I mean, I don't mean we, I'm just saying like the proverbial we or whatever, but like, I don't know. I voted for Trump in 2016. I sat out the last two elections. I gave up on the whole, I think voting's fake and gay and it's rigged. Anyways, you can vote if you want to. That's just my opinion. But I'm like, man, everybody, they kind of fell for it again. You know, it's the kid telling you that, oh, I'll be class president. I'll make the vending machines free. And then he becomes president. And, oh, I was just saying that to get elected, you know? And so here we are. That's interesting that, was she still currently performing with the girl? Like, are they still together or? No?
No, she actually got injured, vaccine injured, right when they were rolling it out. And it was the second one that really did it. And they were putting the group back together. And during that time is when COVID hit. And so it was like a blessing in disguise because she was able to step away from what the music industry was and look at it from the outside looking in. And because she was vaccine injured, started giving like conspiracy theories a little bit more credit than the average person normally would. And is like, oh my God, I was a part of that, you know? And like to the point where she like understands the frequencies that music is recorded and like the harmful, like she's fully awakened now. It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. And it actually, unfortunately, sucks that sometimes it has to be like some big catastrophic thing in your life to make you dive into like, why the hell did this happen? And then once you start digging in to whatever it is that vaccine injured or whether it's whatever, then you start finding more and more things out there to where it helps you in tremendous ways. Like you can clean up your health, your diet, your family, your thinking, you just open up, like going down the rabbit hole, man. It's, it's interesting how that works. And then music itself, it's like, think of like Kanye with, we kind of getting into the Kardashian thing a tiny bit, but like, since we're talking about music, Kanye being able to use, the nigga Hail Hitler song and shit, and like it was this weird litmus test in a way, because he was trying to prove a point that the Jews are shutting me down and the blah, 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 blah. And the music industry is this. And then as soon as he put it out, it was like, boom, checkmate. Like they all fell for it. But now it's like, what do you think of Kanye flip-flopping? I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying like hate on the Jews, but like now he's hanging out with these rabbi guys. And
I want to backtrack just a little bit.
I ramble, so go ahead. Yeah, let's backtrack.
Well, not too far, just halfway through that sentence. Like, what is your take on that song? Because what was the, oh, I gotcha moment? Because like, I love the fucking song. I love that song. And I was wondering what your take on it is. I also think it's very funny, though, that in that song, he says, yes, I am a cuck. I like watching niggas fuck on my bitch.
Right.
And some of the people that are like, this is the greatest song ever, and they talk shit about cucks. I'm like, I mean, me being one of them, but
which is it? Yeah, it's like, which is one or the other, man. Well, my point was that as soon as the song was released, you saw like you could still download the song. It was still on YouTube if other people like uploaded it. And it was one of those deals where it would be up for a minute and somebody else would delete it. Somebody else would upload it in that same back and forth game. But what I was getting at is he was saying, they're stealing my kids. They're stealing my money. They're stealing my this. I can't do nothing anymore. And then as soon as he put it out, it was damage control on Kanye mode, because you knew the song just broke the internet. So as soon as they all doubled down and Spotify said, we're removing it instantly, and a lot of people did. So it was that's what I meant. Like he kind of had a gotcha, like you proved my point.
He had a gotcha moment on that.
Yeah, he had a gotcha moment on what he had been saying.
I'm always worried that we're getting honeypotted in these things, because I find it very interesting that my algorithm is not only allowing these things, but encouraging me to post these things now. Because yesterday I just hit 3.5 million on a reel that I had made, and all it is I took Nick Fuentes taking a sip of coffee. And as he's putting it down, he says, the Jews, and I cut it right there. I say, me after my first sip of coffee in the morning. And then it's just that 10 seconds long. And, like when you post a video that goes viral, like that one did, it'll tell you, hey, good job. This one is doing really well. Make more like this. And I'm like, that's funny, because you guys fucking took down one where all I had was a picture of Adolf Hitler. It was just a picture of him, and they took it down.
But if you ask people now, they'll say Nick Fuentes is the new Adolf Hitler. And I mean, I don't know if I completely agree with everything Nick says, but it's also kind of great that a voice like his does need to be in the field a little bit, because you can't do this whole, like we did the past 4 or 5 years of silencing every voice on the internet. If anybody wants to say stupid shit out loud, like myself included, let them, and then let the cards fall where they fall. And if people don't want to listen, they don't have to. And, but the more you like the musician in me, think of it like this. You're a musician as well, he said. So the parental advisory logo, as soon as you saw that parental advisory logo back when that first came out, you said, that's the fucking CD I need to go buy right now. I don't know anything about it, but they don't want me to have it. That's the one. So like
you always have for it. I agree with you. Yes. It's the apple that we're not allowed. The forbidden fruit is always something that we want to taste. The grass is always greener type of thing. But when you make it like a no type of thing, then people want it more. And I 100% agree with you. Yes. So
Dewey Cox, I think I want it,
Nick Fuentes is like the example of, let's see how extreme we can take this, though. And a lot of it is, I mean, what's your take on him? Because I 100% think that he is a 3-letter plant.
Man, I think he kind of is too. And they made that with him on Tucker a couple weeks back. And then like Tucker even named the episode that, but that halfway point, I don't know if you listened to it, but about halfway through the episode, one of them said first, I thought you were a Fed. And the other goes, I thought you were a Fed, you know, and it's like that Spider-Man meme. It like, so which would make perfect sense in any ATF, CIA, you know, FBI situation. They all roll up on the scene together and they're all, you know what I mean? So it's compartmentalized kind of shit. So I don't know, man. I think maybe he is in some way or form, but I don't know if he's in the same of like the $7,000 posts kind of crowd and shit like that. So meaning like compartmentalized, there's all kinds of different ones that are paid off to like, maybe Candace is, maybe Nick is, I don't really know, but it is strange. They're allowing them to say all these things after they had got kind of canceled for these things. So why did the tide change now? You know?
Well, I'll tell you something, brother. And this has been a topic that's been hitting kind of heavy on my show. And I had on Justin Leslie recently, and he was a Pfizer whistleblower who was working under Project Veritas. And now he's blowing the whistle on not necessarily Project Veritas, but a lot of people within that organization. But in particularly, he's blowing the whistle on James O'Keefe, because James O'Keefe in 2023 attended Bohemian Grove with Charlie Kirk and Tucker Carlson. And there was also somebody else on that list of names. And you know, I can't remember if he said Nick Fuentes was on there or not, but here's where Nick threw me off, because I was almost all on board with Nick, because I was like, he's wrong on some things, but I get it because he's young, and how much smarter is he than I was at his age, you know, like thinking about, okay, he's just got some shit wrong. And I could totally go with that until this whole Charlie Kirk thing happened. And he was like, he's toting the line of what the mainstream narrative is. And the mainstream narrative is the only one that doesn't make any sense. Like, you have at least 30 conspiracy theories around Charlie Kirk's death that all hold water. But the one that doesn't hold water is the one that the FBI is trying to give us as the official narrative.
That's our new magic bullet story. Yeah.
Right. And that's the one that Nick Fuentes is like, that's what happened. And we're like, come on, bro. Like, are you fucking kidding me? The one time you have like the biggest finger to point at the people you love to point the finger at, and you're not going to do it. All right. Something's up here.
Yeah. I mean, it's that same kind of thing with Alex Jones as well, but just staying on Nick. But, you know, Alex, as soon as all the Israel-Palestine shit came up and a lot of the Trump stuff, like, he didn't want to tread in those waters. Meanwhile, it's that same argument you just said, like, bro, really? Like, you've treaded in all these other waters. You've brought up all these other crazy subjects, but now you shut up about this one thing. So Nick kind of believing the 100% of the Charlie Kirk narrative is very questionable, in my opinion, because there's so much to even a normie or somebody that wants to devote all of their time to digging into it. Like, you can look at that situation and be like, they were paving it over in 2 days. Why the hell was that? Why was this happening? Why is, you know, the dude running around that's been at the Boston bombing and everything else in the World Trade Center, you know, and then, oh, well, I'm a pedophile, so then you can't say nothing about, you know, I mean, it's like that. There goes that guy's narrative. It's like a JFK situation for our generation. I'm 36. I don't know how old you are, but I figure we're similar age group, but we weren't alive in 63, but this is our kind of similar type situation where the narrative that gets told, the longer they keep saying it, sounds more and more like bullshit. So for Nick to dive in on it, it doesn't make any sense. It just kind of screams a little Fed activity.
Yes, it makes perfect sense if it's screaming Fed activity. And that's another thing that I was kind of getting at with like the reel that I was talking about. That is, and that's not the only one. You know, I just took one down that had 1.5 million views, and I only took it down because Hitler was also a fucking psyop, and he might have done good things for Germany and for the people and freed them of what they were doing at the time, but it was only under the rouge to get them into that war so that he could do what he did. And only doing that was able to make Israel recognized as a country in the first place. And so all of that took place so that they can initiate just one more little tiny fucking step towards their goal. And even though like on the surface for like and I was guilty of being one for a minute, the Hitler dick riders, is the fact that like he was also an actor, part of the fucking grand scheme of things show. Now sometimes these actors like to go rogue because they're all occultists or they're all into some deep dark arts of some sorts, and you know, with that comes power. When you have power, corrupts power absolutely. And
100%.
so these people do like to go rogue, and these fractions of this machine also maybe running towards the same goal, but you know, somebody wants to sit at the driver's seat all the time, and they're fighting over that fucking driver's seat.
It's fucking Scarface, man, taking out Frank. You know, Scarface taking out Frank, you know, when he's telling him, Tony, you know what a hassa is? You know, the talking about the bird that flies too close to the sun kind of thing. And then Tony had it made in his situation, if we're going to say like Tony Montana is relative to a Hitler situation, right? So he's being put in this position. He's being propped up. He's being used because he has these qualities too. I'm not a Hitler dick rider. Never really have been. I know there's a lot of misconstrued shit about Hitler through our history books, 100%. That doesn't mean he's a good guy just because they lied about some other shit like what you're kind of alluding to. But with the Tony Montana reference, it's like once he takes out Frank, which is kind of like going rogue, and then he goes and gets Michelle Pfeiffer and all that, everything went fucking downhill for Tony because he went rogue. And in the end, bit him in the ass, which is basically what happened with Hitler. It's like whether it was the meth or the micro penis or the whatever else going on with him, he
or
just
his
went
obsession with Antarctica, you know,
dude. Yes, the Antarctica shit is one of my favorites because you're like, what? And then Africa with Rommel and the tank division and shit, going and looking for, you know, all the hidden artifacts in Africa history, and you're like, dude, Hitler is a fucking crazy rabbit hole, but it doesn't mean he's a good guy. It just means like Aleister Crowley, he's a nut job that's worth studying into. But don't be a dick rider.
Yeah, don't be a dick rider. And my problem was I was like, nah, he was really a good guy because he was like trying to free everybody. And you know, and I went and watched Europa: The Last Battle and twice maybe, and I read Mein Kampf, and everybody was telling me, you know, like that's just propaganda from the other side. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. There's got to be a middle ground here somewhere. And so, and you know, just because the number 6 million isn't even close and doesn't hold water, doesn't mean that there wasn't some fuckery going on, and that the entire thing was exactly what we're seeing now, is just one giant fucking psyop over the public, and it's inching us closer and closer to what they want as their end goal. And like I was alluding to earlier, I was going to allude to, is like, yeah, right now all fingers are pointed to one country, one little country that just happened to commit genocide in front of the entire world, and the world was like, you
can't do that. Yeah.
But there's other control fractions at play here. And other control fractions will let other control fractions get a stranglehold and a level up in the playing field, so that that levels everybody else up. And then they'll stab them in the back eventually too. And then they'll take the stepping stones. So like, we can't all just sit here and say it's the Jews. It's all the Jews. And like, you know, it's fun. And it gets people riled up, and it'll definitely get you some fucking clicks and whatnot, but that's not,
and the
really,
memes are great. Yeah.
and the memes are awesome, but honestly, that's really not what's going on here. And we need to not lose focus and lose sight. And I think that, like, well, let's get back to Nick Fuentes, because he's part of this, and he was installed. I would say that he was installed into this movie with Kanye. And because of this, they visited Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, if you remember back a while back, when Donald Trump was getting ready to make his run again. And the media made this big, huge deal about it. And it was like, oh my gosh, well, who the fuck is Nick Fuentes? I can't believe that they allowed Nick Fuentes in there. Well, who the fuck is he? He's this racist guy. Well, okay, well, let's go look at what he has to say. Well, boom, now they got these people, these French people that are paying attention to this Donald Trump shit to go and check out who Nick Fuentes is. So they honeypotted you right there.
Yes.
And then they have people like me that is like always been into conspiracies. And I'm like, it's funny that it always leads back to this one group of people. And, and so then you hear somebody like Nick Fuentes speaking out and you're like, oh, holy shit. Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. And then so you're like, oh, well, there's some validity to this. And then now they're getting everybody like, okay, what's he posting? And if you take notice, Israel is buying a lot of fucking social media platforms,
TikTok and everything. Yep.
Yes. And so they're allowing you to say what the fuck you want to right now so that they know exactly who the fuck you are. So,
dude, you just made my brain freaking blow up, because with Trump, Fuentes, Kanye saying all this shit about the Jews, saying all this that you're not supposed to say, but why are we able to say it now? But then everybody kind of forgot about the facial recognition Palantir shit and the AI. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if, okay, these people are picking up, so that it's all social media footprint kind of shit. Not to go into like Kurt Metzger. I love Kurt Metzger, but not to go into like these motherfuckers, but anyways, my point is like, yes, you just fired me up on that. If they're going to know who you are by, purchasing these platforms, allowing you to say these things, and then on top of that, once they see you out in public, think of like Minority Report, like that movie's 25 years old, but when you walk into the store, it recognizes your hello, Mr. So-and-so. As you walk in, it's like all personalized for you. No matter what, you're fucked. Like they're honeypotting you. Like you basically were saying, like allowing you to set up your own demise by speaking too much. And then they're taking over control and we're fucked.
Yeah. What they did is during COVID, they put a leash on everybody. And so we're like, oh, fuck, I don't know about you, but I lost a shit ton of platforms during that whole time between now and then. And so lately it's like I've run to the end of where my line should be yanking me back. And it's like, oh, wait, it's not pulling me back. Let me see how far I can go. And so like I'm seeing how far this leash is letting me go. And really, it's the old saying, like just give him enough fucking rope to hang himself with.
Yeah, dude, they're pushing us on our own. It's like letting us be, I don't know, it's like free range cows, but they're like, hey, go range over that way, and you keep walking, and then you're like literally just walking off a cliff. Like you're like, yes. It's free range to an illusion, basically. Like we're letting you walk right off to your own demise. But I don't know. I try not to be too black pilled, but I do get black pilled a lot because I feel like a lot of people don't recognize the black pill sometimes. There's a white pill, the black pill, but I don't know. I'd rather be prepared for the worst and, hope for the best kind of idea. So with the world the way it's going right now, I mean, social media crackdown, we see Trump was passing laws and shit just a couple months back on anti-Semitism, this, and it's interesting because you're like, why is it allowed? But also, I don't know what else is going on behind the scenes that they're letting this one group be the boogeyman for right now. You get what I'm saying? Like they're letting everybody rally against the Jays, but it's like, who else is doing some other shit? Like, Giovanni Cerrucci, he's been on Triple H show a couple times. He's
then
I had him on about 6 months back and kind of blew my mind because we started with the Jays, but he's like, it's not the Jays. It gets deeper into like the Jesuits and Catholic Church and Rome and Club of Rome and shit. And if you're only thinking about Jews and Israel, then you're not thinking about that. You're not thinking about Committee of 300s and Bilderberg groups and all these other motherfuckers that are actually really kind of running shit, and they're letting these other guys take all the flack.
Yeah, it's 100% not even, if you want to go back too, like if you want to go back further than that, it's further than Jesuits too. It's the people that portrayed to be Jews when they were back worshiping Renfran and worshiping Moloch and shit like this. Like the Star of David is actually a Rembrandt star. Yep. And so it has nothing to do with King David. It has nothing to do with that bloodline or lineage whatsoever. So the whole thing is a facade from front to back. The fact that we're saying Jews is a scary thing because that's your neighbors. And that can run into really dangerous territory. And now I do agree that there is a book out there, the Talmud, that it says a lot of really fucked up shit in it. And if people are reading from that book and that's how they live their life, and they're nice to your face, and they would love nothing more than to spit in your face and do SA on your wife and your child, then, I have no remorse for you. But you can't be guilty by association at the same time. So that's very scary, because where you draw a line at that point. And I think that that's why they're letting it get to where it's getting, because it's the old saying in America is united we stand, divided we fall. And they brought Donald Trump in as the first wrecking ball to the foundation of the United States, because he said things that people that think logically would normally be like, yeah, that makes fucking sense. And so then you had people that were like, no matter what, the government isn't going to, the people on TV aren't going to lie to me. The people that I watch on movies and the music that I listen to are telling me this thing, and they all say to hate Donald Trump. And so we had this campaign of 4 years of completely divide the country, and it was successful. Now, whether Donald Trump was a useful idiot in it or not, I used to be on the fence, but up until recently, I'm like, no, that motherfucker absolutely knew what he was doing from the gate. He was groomed from this in his entire fucking life. And so then he takes a step back, do the whole election was rigged thing, get the country heated up even more so that left versus right divide is just at as much as it can be, and let this idiot run the country who can't even write his own name, and we have to have an electronic signature for him to do things with, and totally destroy the foundation of this country. Now Donald Trump comes back in and is like, all right, guys, I'm here to fix it and make everything better. And what he did is the people that were actually following him with a critical mind are like, hang on a second, motherfucker. This isn't what you said you were going to be doing. And then you got the people that are on the other side that have, and I'm sorry, the people on the right that wore the red hats that like to say Trump derangement syndrome and point the finger so quick, but you guys have that shit too, because there's two sides of the same motherfucking coin. And the fact that he is sitting there, I mean, 2 days ago, we found out that he is not only sucking off Netanyahu, but Bill Clinton too. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, Bubba. And then it's even well, he wasn't sucking off Clinton because apparently Ghislaine had a horse named Bubba as well. So you're like, okay, which, Trump's known for doing the fucking hand thing. Which one is it? Is it both? I mean, shit.
And the YMCA,
I saw a meme yesterday. The memes are fucking amazing for it right now. Saw a meme yesterday. It's got Trump doing his 2-hand thing, and it's got Clinton pointing up going, I taught him that.
Oh man, that's fucking great. Yeah, the YMCA song makes a lot more sense now.
Oh
man,
dude. Okay, you're right on the Trump thing, because I'm so glad that you said a lot of the things you just said about that whole deal. Is we went through this, Joe Biden administration, so everybody could see everything slightly crumbling, and we're begging for that savior to come back. We thought Trump was going to be the savior, and all the excuses, it's, well, he didn't have the right administration the first time. They held him back, and then they stole the election, and then they blah, blah, blah. And then now there's really not any goddamn excuses anymore. Now it's okay, this is your last 4 years, unless some crazy shit happens, but this is your last hurrah, your fucking senior year in high school. Blow it up, have fun with it, whatever. But Trump is dropping the ball on everything, from Epstein to calling out Massey, and fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene has stood by him since day one. And what do Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene have in common? Oh, $0 from AIPAC. Oh, somebody's going to do that and be like, oh, I just did a 666 symbol. I meant 0, the number. But I'm saying, yeah, it's Trump is just, I don't know what the hell he's doing right now, but I think you're right. He was groomed from the get-go to be the guy that he's being right now. Because people forget that Thomas Massey, one last thing, went on a rant a little bit today on something, Fox News or somebody, and basically was saying that everybody is forgetting that everything Trump is doing right now, he's not going to be here in 3 years or whatever. Some of these things we forget with presidents. We still have shit from George W. Bush carrying over 20 plus fucking years later. people forget the administration leaves, but the people or the things on the books kind of still stand, and we got to be careful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore, but I do think that we're witnessing like the controlled demolition of the American empire.
Mhm.
And the fact that, or I wanted to get to the main point of this, is now what he's done is, after all this has taken place and the country's never been more divided. I would say 2 years ago, the country has never been more divided. Well, would you say that the country's more divided now than it was 2 years ago?
I think it's splintered. Instead of the word divided, it's splintered off into 50 different factions now, because
There you
it
go.
went
It's how he
2
came
to
in.
4 to 8 to 16 to 50 to 100. Like, everybody's in their own little fucking echo chambers now. And that's what's
Yes.
kind of scary, because everybody's calling for the burning down the White House, or stand with Trump no matter what, or this. Nobody's really got any nuance. They've put us in all these little fucking factions now, and
it's a
nobody's standing together.
Yeah, it's a really scary thing, and I've been sitting back kind of noticing this too. And yes, exactly. He split it into fractions now. Not he, the machine did this. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is he's just a face of that the machine is using right now, one of many faces. And yeah, he fucking took that dagger into both halves and fucking just crumbled them, because you have people on the left and on the right that are like, fuck Israel, but they're looking over at each other and like, well, fuck you too, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes. You couldn't be more right, dude. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, so I don't know where we go from here, but enter the Kardashians.
Jesus Christ, I know, right? Well, that's the funny thing, is like the idea of reality TV, them being a TV show. Trump had a reality TV show. The connection of back to like Kanye being with Kim, and then Kim was wanting to get into some politics and legal shit, and it's funny as hell. She's been bitching that like Chat GPT or whatever it is fucking made me fail my bar exam, and you're like, you stupid spoiled bitch, you literally just said out loud on national platforms that like I tried to become a lawyer using AI to answer my questions and it failed me. But it's like, dude, everything is a shit show and a joke at this point. I mean,
I didn't even know that, bro. That's fucking hilarious.
yeah, it's hilarious. She's been admitting like all kinds of crazy shit recently. She was gone into thinking the moon landings are fake. Did you see those?
No, why would she like shine any light on the real society that she comes from? Like, she is one of the reptilian bloodline overlords.
Exactly. It's confusing. It's like, I mean, that'd be like if Dick Cheney was talking about like we didn't land on the moon or something. You're like, dude, aren't you guys, you're on the side that's supposed to be propping that up. Like, why are you saying this shit? So anyways, the Kardashians, like, I guess, I don't know shit about the show really, but I know that they got a new season that's come out, and then, they just catch them in sound bites and clips and everything. And so Kim's been apparently getting into TikTok conspiracies. And you're like, oh, well, then back to like the idea of Hitler and shit. Like, what if you are a controlled person that's in there already, but now you're starting to go off the reservation? Kanye already went off the reservation. What if Kim's going off? I don't know, man. I think they're all fucking psychopaths, just vanity-filled idiots. But it's interesting. Why are they always propped up in front of us? And has their time not run out yet? I mean,
I'm kind of interested here, because I know I see a lot of people that will, let's see, there we go. Yeah, a lot of people will say that they get younger as they get older.
Yes.
So, and what about Chloe is actually OJ's daughter, and the whole freaking rabbit hole where OJ didn't actually kill her, but was trying to fucking like cover some shit up for his son.
Dude, okay, yeah. I mean, I've heard the you said Chloe, right? So that's the one that used to be the chubbier one and then got skinnier. Sorry, feminists, don't come fucking attack me. But the one that was the chubbier one, I think, was, or wait, no, it's Chloe. Wait, I don't fucking know. Anyways,
was the chubbier one, yeah, like
okay, that was with Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom, the basketball player and shit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, dude, that's an interesting thing, because you never know. And it's like, why did they blow up? Why did, they seem like forced marriages all around. You get Bruce Jenner in there out of nowhere. Like, the fucking Wheaties guy. Everybody thought he was probably gay anyways. Like, why is he marrying into this family? And that, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what the hell to think of the Kardashians, but they are especially the men. They're associated with weird people. I mean, you got that was Travis Barker. Yep.
Yeah. And well, Ray J seems to be going against the Kardashians.
He seems like the only one that got away.
Right. But Kanye's trying to get away, but I feel like he was already too deep into it when he found them to begin with. And let me remove that.
Well, he had kids with him too, so now he's roped in till death. I mean,
what do you think about his recent turnaround too? Because a lot of people are like giving him shit for basically apologizing for his Jew talk lately, and I'm like, man, you got kids involved. Like, your kids are in the coven of like Satan's witches.
100%. Yes.
These are seriously evil beings. And like, I do not give them credit to be human in any way, shape, or form. Any man that has ever entered their presence in a capacity of having a relationship with any of this female coven, they end up like fucking losing their minds. And
like I said, like Bruce changed his gender.
Yeah, now he's Bruce Gender.
Bruce Gender. Damn, I love that. That's awesome. Oh, dude, but yeah, Kanye, he's like, honestly, I think he's getting a lot of shit. But I think people have been wanting to just rally on him because they have for a while anyways. He's an easy target because of the things he says. But he's this like broken clock, right twice a day kind of thing where he'll say a lot of truth in a conversation and then say some bombastic thing that you forgot everything before that. And you only think of that one thing about the Jews or about the this or whatever. I think Kanye is scared and wants to see his damn kids is what it comes down to. I think he realized that, like, man, I thought they had a stronghold on me already. Man, it's only getting worse. Have you seen Northwest or whatever, the oldest daughter, I guess she's 13 now. The tattoos on the face, I guess those were fake tattoos, but just the idea of fake tattoos and septum rings and all this, if they're fake now and you're willing to do it, wait till you're 15 and then you're going to go and actually get them done. It's like, I think Kanye's freaking out on the idea of what the celebrity world is already, of like, think of Megan Fox, who's dating Machine Gun. Well, I guess her and Machine Gun Kelly are done, but she's got three trans kids, right? And then Machine Gun Kelly and Travis Barker are friends. And then it's like that association of like, how long before Kanye's kids start turning trans before they start, I think he's freaking out as a parent. And I kind of have a little bit of heart for him. I'm not going to lie.
Megan Fox has a wiener anyway. And
Megan Cox.
Yeah. Megan Cox. And if you look at her freaking fingers, her thumbs look like big toes. And that's fucking disgusting to me.
Yeah. She got long ass fingers too. Anyways. Yeah.
Apparently those blood rituals that her and Machine Gun Kelly were doing weren't working and it made them separate. But I will say that, like, I don't know if it was going after Eminem or, being with Megan Fox and her occultic beliefs and ways that changed him. But, like, he certainly went from like trying to be a thug wigger to a fucking pansy ass pussy.
Yeah.
Like overnight.
And I mean, he's probably just another industry plant anyways. Like a lot of them are. It's like, I was just saying on my podcast last weekend, it's like, I'm glad my fucking, I mean, music didn't suck, but it's an Eddie Bravo joke. It's like, I'm glad that my music sucked enough to where I didn't get famous and get brought into those Eyes Wide Shut parties, because if you're 19, 20, 22 years old, you're stupid, young, dumb, full of cum, and hey, there's a pound of blow, let's do that. Hey, there's some hot chicks with big boobs. And then you find out like, oh, that was a 17-year-old. You're fucked. We got you on video camera. I think Machine Gun Kelly was just another industry plant, but then he faded.
Well, he comes from P. Diddy.
He couldn't compete in that rap world or whatever they tried to throw him in. So they're like, let's redo him. Like, give him a new image. Like, well, fucking, what's his name? Chris Gaines. God damn it.
Oh.
Garth Brooks. You know what I mean? It's like, let's try to flip the image now. And Maybe it's working better for Machine Gun Kelly, but go ahead.
Maybe I'm just retarded, but I tried to look up Garth Brooks' Thunder Rolls on Apple Music and it wouldn't show me that song. It showed me like somebody that did a cover of it, but not him. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? It's like, whoa. Yeah, maybe they're getting ready to out him as the serial killer that he is. So
where's the bodies? Where's the tracks, dude? Where's the song at? Well, if you think about it, that song's about domestic abuse. Maybe he's like, we get rid of this song. It kind of looks a little suspicious. I don't know about Garth Brooks. I'm in Oklahoma, so everybody loves Garth Brooks, but it's funny because everybody kind of hates him nowadays because they're like, dude, you were a poser faggot anyways. Like, he basically ripped off, I don't know if you've ever heard the name Chris Ledoux, but Chris Ledoux came out before Garth Brooks, had the over-the-top kind of rock and roll and pyrotechnics and all that shit for a country star. 3 or 4 years later, here comes Garth Brooks, steals the same goddamn show, and then blows up. So it's like, okay, you're already a fake anyways.
Well, that's what they do. The record companies will try to recycle that. And, in my music industry days, I was rubbing elbows with people at parties in LA and shit. And they were like, that was around the time that Eminem's second album dropped. And I was like obsessed with Eminem and thought it was cool. But at that time, my passion was skateboarding. Well, no, it was still music. I just didn't think I was good enough yet. I got really serious about it after the fact. But anyways, like I would go to parties and stuff and I just like start rapping along to Eminem. And before you know it, like they would pull out shit and I'm like on a microphone with speakers and stuff. And then I have these people that are walking up to me is like, people will tolerate like one person that comes like one copycat and would like throw off, like you could make like 2-3 songs and make a good amount of money and then just dip out. And I was like, yeah, no, but I want to be like my own person, And so like, I never got in that way. I did not take, but I did have Sony offer me a development deal years and years later when I like decided to really focus on my music and what I wanted it to be. And then they tried to get their claws in me again. But thank God I had a buddy who owned Soundworks Studios at the time, and he had recorded somebody that had won a Grammy. And so he kind of like broke down what that contract would mean when I like showed him. And he was like, yeah, don't sign that. He was like, basically, they're going to give you $100,000. You're going to owe them like $150,000 like as soon as you sign that. But what's going to happen is, and he broke it down to where they're not going to promote you. Everything, every breath you take is going to cost you money. That's going to get put down on that shit. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck that. I'm not going to sign this. So like he saved me, thank God. But
well, that's how they do it, man. And it's like, I mean, my kids and my wife are a blessing. It's like, I'll be honest, my first kid was an accident. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it was an accident I needed to happen in my life, and it changed my life. And then me and my wife have been married now, and we have, like I said, now 3 kids together. And it's like, I'm glad that at some point I recognized that to get into that music world, because I was trying pretty hard in like hard rock, metal, and stuff like that, kind of original bands and stuff here in Oklahoma. I had opportunities to go to LA shit. I partied at Vinnie Paul's house from Pantera before he passed away, rest in peace. But like, man, like I'm glad, like back to that Eddie Bravo joke, I'm glad that I didn't take that jump, because when you're young and stupid, like they're going to take advantage of you, whether it's blackmail, whether it's financial, whether it's just using you as a damn beating a dead horse. Like, oh, it's on your contract. You got to go out there for 4 more appearances of this, or you got to owe us this. Like, we look back on it and it's like, you kind of go like, man, I wish I could have had that big stage or that whatever. But you're like, dude, at the end of the day, is it really worth it? And I'm glad that it turns, go ahead. Yeah.
Because it depends on how you get there, because there's a lot of bands that aren't aware that one member in their group did some fucked up shit to get them to where they are.
Bingo. And then you're all grouped together now, 4, 5, 6 guys. Yep.
Yeah. So,
dude,
and it doesn't.
I just want to say,
go
ahead. Sorry, go ahead. We're talking over each other.
No, it's good. I know we're coming up here like on the end of this, but I'd love to get you on and do a full episode on White Rabbit with you, and just shooting the shit every Friday. Oh man, are you freezing up again?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, good. Oh, you're just really listening intently. But every Friday, with just starting now, Anthony Griffeo has my co-host to this, but we do roundtables on Rumble every Friday night on X and Rumble, and we like to get like big names in the conspiracy world mixed with names that like could just be people that listen or up and coming podcasters. It's almost like a Kill Tony type of thing where I'm trying to like mix like no names with people that people already know about and just like make some connections there and see what
like-minded fellows. I love that, dude. Hell yeah.
Yes. So I would love to get you a part of one of there. I've never kicked anybody off up until last night. So that was fine. You know, don't come on there and say that Bigfoot, like the only people that seen Bigfoot are people that took acid in the forest. Like you're on the wrong show if you come on my show.
Yeah, right. Well, man, I've loved this, man. This was a blast, and I'm glad we ended up doing like the crossover thing. Sorry we had technical difficulties in the beginning, but it was funny. As soon as I said Zoom sucks earlier, Zoom went crap on us. But I'm glad we swapped over to here, man. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get off here, but Talking Stitt is my podcast. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble. Find me on Facebook and Instagram, sharing retarded ass memes and everything in between. But yeah, dude, Katillist Jones. I've loved this, man. This was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, man. I had a blast. Thank you. And for all your listeners, you can find me at all your usual suspect places. Just look up White Rabbit Podcast, and I'm sure that I'll pop up. Just don't look for me on YouTube or Rockfin because I got kicked out of there.
I'm treading the YouTube waters a little bit lately because I got kicked out like 2 years ago, but they haven't done nothing yet. So
I might make a comeback here pretty soon. We'll see. But we're going to end this the way that we always do, and that is keep digging down those rabbit holes.
Hell yeah.